Je veux vous parler d'un cadeau spécial, OK? Je sais que vous allez en recevoir des cadeaux, mais il y a un cadeau spécial qui est unique. Il n'y a pas deux cadeaux comme ça, il est unique. Savez-vous, le cadeau spécial, c'est chacun d'entre vous. Vous êtes un cadeau unique, parce qu'il n'y en a pas deux qui vous ressemblent. Et savez-vous pourquoi vous êtes des cadeaux? Hein? Do you know why you're a gift? It's about the love you spend all around you, with your family, your friends, everywhere you go. The love that you share is the beautiful. That's why you're a beautiful gift. C'est avec l'amour que vous distribuez autour de vous.
I was hallucinating and then I was feeling horrible and suicidal. So I tried to kill myself several times. Then I went to the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. This is where I was. And I was gonna jump, and a policeman took me and put him in his car. And I said, is this some kind of joke? And he said, no, you're not allowed to commit suicide. If you isolate yourself and box yourself out of communication with people, then you could go down a dark path, which I have been down. There are organizations out there that can help. You don't have to be isolated. For example, now I'm a part of Omega Center, which is a day program that does all kinds of activities like bowling, art. You can open up and talk about anything.
It's a place where people have social activities, therapeutic activities, recreational activities, and outings. So we kind of like enhance that side that is so important in the life of, doesn't matter actually whom, where you develop a social network, okay? It's extremely needed when we speak about mental health. It's so important to have friends, to have people that surround you and are there for you, in all time, actually.
You know, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And feeling that you're not alone works.
Definitely.
You know, so I learned a lot that way. I don't isolate as much since I go to Omega. I don't. I used to isolate for months. And then when I go out, I shake because I have panic attacks because I haven't been out so much.
Yeah.
And
our social skills need upkeep.
yeah, so now I do a daily routine of what I do every day. And then if I tend to isolate too much, then I know I have to force myself to go out.
If you can't accept that you don't need help, then it's very hard for you to get a grip on where you're at and your mental illness. The first step is saying, okay, I need help. I might have a mental illness. I'm very depressed.
Premièrement, il y a la ligne téléphonique qui est ouverte 24 heures par jour, 7 jours par semaine. Le concept, c'est d'avoir quelqu'un qui peut répondre au bout du fil en tout temps. Donc, quand les gens appellent, c'est pas une boîte vocale, c'est pas une machine. Ils parlent tout de suite à un intervenant qui peut adresser leur situation avec eux. Cependant, ça se peut des fois que la personne, il faut qu'elle se retire de son milieu temporairement pour certaines raisons. À ce moment-là, c'est possible de venir au centre de crise. Des fois, 2 jours vont suffire. Des fois, ça va être beaucoup plus long.
Here at Dali in Monaco, what we do is we offer equine assisted therapy. So equine meaning with horses, offered to people that suffer from mental health difficulties and addictions. Essentially, a lot of people will say when they first arrive that they don't know who they are. So I guess in a way that's similar to just being a human being, right? Just being. And so they learn to just be. Because with the horses, if you're anywhere else in your mind, then you're gonna see a direct response. With horses, you can't be anywhere else. You have to be there. You have to be fully present. The horses, they don't care what you're wearing. They don't care what you look like. I mean, they're very forgiving. They're very accepting. So they just bring us back to here now. And essentially, that's what mindfulness is, right? Everybody is hearing mindfulness as being the new buzzword. Well, it's nothing new. I mean, We've been trying to just be for years and years and years, and well, yeah, they know how.
The instant gratification is something that our Western society has created as an expectation that is counterproductive to our appreciation of what we achieve. That's one thing. Also, the speed at which we live is crazy, for want of a better word. It's absolutely insane. One of the things that I work with in individual sessions is just to help someone take a moment, step back and say, oh, why do I do this to myself? You know, but we do it because we think our environment expects it of us. The vast majority of our problems could be solved by us. We have the best insights to solve our problems if only we can become centered and grounded and clear and feeling safe. And that is a feeling that you can create yourself through the practice of meditation. One of the common misconceptions about learning to meditate is that we have to stop our thoughts. Well, good luck. You know, we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and we're not going to stop them.
Ben c'est un handicap, mais oui puis non. J'en emploie des mots durs. J'emploie des mots durs. Je suis fou, mais pas stupide. Je suis pas fou, pas stupide. C'est un peu dur, mais c'est la réalité. C'est la réalité. My identity does not hang on a label. I'm not my mental illness. I'm not my stuttering. I'm a human being, a complete human being. Le groupe citoyen est un organisme plus non lucratif dans lequel les personnes avec un problème de santé mentale se regroupent pour représenter. Les personnes avec un groupe de santé mentale se regroupent pour représenter les intérêts de nos pairs et exprimer nos voix. Et certains des dossiers sur lesquels nous travaillons sont la sécurité alimentaire, le logement abordable et le transport. Parce que c'est pas destination, tu iras nulle part. Sans un but, sans des buts et des objectifs, on s'en va nulle part. Et aussi avoir un sens à ma vie et un but, c'est ce qui me motive à me lever chaque matin et passer à travers ma journée. Quand à la fin de la journée, quand je regarde ce que j'ai accompli, je me dis, c'est bon, je suis prêt pour une autre journée.
We make frozen meals that are delivered by Meals on Wheels, which is a collaboration with Volunteer West Island. And we also offer the meals at a fair price for anybody in the community. So our main clientele would be seniors that have limited mobility, but it's the participants that have a mental health problem that actually create the meals and are part of the production. Technically, they are volunteers. On their CV, they would write that it's a volunteer work that they were doing. Even though we're paying them, it's more a support allowance than a real salary where they would be employed. They don't have to claim it, and they're paid in cash.
Il offre des cours de cuisine pour un diplôme semi-professionnel dans le domaine de la cuisine. Alors, moi, je l'ai obtenu. C'est vraiment très intéressant. Puis, ça vous permet d'avoir d'autres vues sur la cuisine.
You know, when you're going through that depression, you don't think that you are going to be able to get back out there. Those are the darkest times, but once you get through those dark times, and the idea of being able to get out of the house, really that's the big thing. Is I think that's what helps me the most coming here, is to get out of the house, do an activity that will not only benefit me but also benefit the community.
Did you ever win against him?
I just been here 11 too.
Keep it up.
Alors, il y a deux organisations dans le même bâtiment. Il y a Centre Bienvenue, qui est un centre de jour en santé mentale, et Résidence Bienvenue, qui est une résidence pour personnes avec des difficultés de santé mentale. We do a float for the parade on July 1st. This was the 2018 parade, and we're going to have the same board made for this year. They did another float this year, which is absolutely great. Et on fait 2 camps par année, un camp été-hiver, il y en a un qui commence la semaine prochaine, où on amène des participants en pleine nature, sous tente, faire du canot, etc. The residence side is particular because it's a maximum of 6 years. They cannot stay here longer than 6 years. They're here on a contract, it's not a lease, and they have obligation, obviously, in terms of respecting the rules of the house. They only can come in here through mental health referral, which is the Douglas Hospital. So nobody can just walk in off the street and get an apartment. It has to be referred. They all have a social worker assigned and a psychiatrist with regular meetings.
People don't see things in phases. And actually, when they get better, it doesn't mean they won't go backwards a bit. If there's a crisis, what will you do to take care of yourself? It's going to happen. Life is going to bring you things you didn't want and didn't expect and don't have control over. So it will affect you more. And is your tendency to drink when you're not well? Because then the slide down can go right down. And you want to avoid that hospitalization door again. If you can, I think a lot of people, their goal was never to go back to the hospital. Perfect. Like that's probably the ultimate goal for both sides. For our teams too, it was like, how can we help this person stay out of the hospital? It's not a healing environment. It's a protective environment when you really need it, and an environment to evaluate what happened and what your symptoms are and how to treat them. But it's clinical, it's cold, it's trying not to be, but it is.
So I ended up at the Lakeshore Hospital. I was there for 3 months. And so I basically had to detox there. PCSM called me at the hospital, and I actually tried to kill myself in the hospital. And it was, I don't know, it was a blessing in disguise. And the Emmanuel called me and said, I have a worker for you, and he's not here yet, but I will call you and keep an eye on you. And I told her what happened, and I said, there's no hope for me, like, don't even bother. She said, you're worth it, and someone's gonna come see you, and you're gonna get help. We're not letting you go. And what she would do is call me back at this time, and she was so busy. They were going through changes and stuff. This is how amazing that PCSM is. I didn't call back, and she called me and she says, I waited for your call. I'm like, well, you're busy, why are you calling me? And she says, I told you, I'm gonna be there. And she was there. She'd call me every day.
When you know that there's consistent good at the end of your day or at the start of the day, it can make all the difference, and it can keep you going through something that's tough. Sometimes there's no getting around that you're in a bad situation, that things aren't going well, that you feel like garbage. Sometimes that's life, that's reality. But when we have other things that are consistently there to pick us up just a bit or give us that little bit of hope, that can be the difference between life and death for some people.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, hello. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Good. Long time no see, eh?
Long time.
Yeah.
Coming in for a bit?
Yeah, sure. Could sit down and... That was interesting too, because I was sexually abused by men and women, and I was more scared of men. And to have a male worker was very interesting. You know, like, here this guy comes, and just the way he was, I felt safe. And we went for coffee, and you don't just go for coffee. We talk about our lives. And for him to accept me, and I would say, like, you know, I have depression, I have ADHD, I can't focus. I don't think you really want to help me, like, why? And what do you want from me? Sort of thing, you know? And he would say, like, we're here to help.
It's still not talked about enough. I think that's why there's still this stigma, and there's a negative stigma. I think if we talk and show how we feel and that we're doing well, people will see that mental illness is not just this one thing where you're depressed or crazy.
Mental health means my journey. in my life and what I go through every day, but it also means fight. Like, we all fight and we try to like live as best as we can. And mental health it's just part of my life, so it's my life, my journey.
Yeah, that's well said.
Yeah.
Je dirais, ça m'apprenait même à oser, à des choses que je peux faire manuellement, que j'aurais pas fait avant. Je crois beaucoup plus que je peux m'en sortir aujourd'hui, oui.
Ce qui me fait persévérer, l'espoir que les choses vont s'améliorer, que les choses vont s'améliorer. L'échec n'est pas une option.
Why I choose this? I think that was a passion. I think that in my young soul, I thought that I can save the world at that age. But now I know that I only can change the world around me, and I can help the others that are still thinking that they can save the world to kind of, you know, do their work too. And it's nice to produce change. I mean, I love producing change in life of people. Because you know what? 1 from 5 has a mental health diagnostic. And that can be us.
There is a lot of help out there. Don't isolate yourself. Really find an organization that will help you, or a good doctor, a good psychiatrist, a counselor. But reach out, it's the most important thing.